Hey guys, it's Jenna and welcome back to my channel today. In today's video, I'm just quickly featuring my puppy Harvey because I know you guys love seeing him on my videos. So he is here for the intro. Got a little bit of a blowout recently, so he's nice and fuzzy looking. Oh, thank you. He's so cuddly today. So tired from all the daycare that he was doing the last couple of days. So anyways, just wanted to show him right away. I know you guys really love him and he is getting bored of me. In today's video, I am sharing 5 shopping secrets that Tarte does not want you to know. And these are some secrets slash facts that I feel like some of them will probably be pretty familiar to you guys already and others won't be. And I really want to give you guys a video packed full of information on Tarte specifically because they always release tons of products, and right now we're in the holiday season where they have a couple holiday sets available. So I'm going to share with you guys my thoughts on all of those. So let's get right on into this Tarte shopping secrets video. Secret number 1 is actually their Amazonian clay formula is actually not made equally. So this is something that I feel like they really brand their Amazonian eyeshadow formula. They make it seem like it's the biggest, best thing in the world. And you know what? If you get a palette that has the genuine Amazonian clay formula, you will love it. It's amazingly blendable, very pigmented, and I think it's very beginner friendly. That being said, this is a hot word within the Tarte company. They use this for every single eyeshadow palette, but it's definitely not made equally. The Amazonian clay formula that is made in the US is actually their best formula for the Amazonian clay word. So that's basically the formula that they sell as their best, their beginner friendly, their favorite formula, but they also say Amazonian clay formula with their other packages that are not made in the USA. So just so you guys know, this is by no means saying that everything made in China is not good. China has some amazing products, great quality as well, but whatever manufacturer Tarte uses out in China is not as great as the manufacturer they're using in the States when it comes to the Amazonian clay formula. They still say that it is the same formula from palette to palette, but if it's made in China, it is a different quality. Which brings me to secret number 2, and that is that the holiday sets are not worth your money. Now, let me explain myself because we are talking about the Amazonian clay formula in particular, but this is a formula, you guys, that once it's produced in China, whatever manufacturer they are using out there is not making the exact same quality as the US one is, but they're still marketing it the same to us. And to me, this isn't very fair to the consumer because as soon as you have the word Amazonian clay, you think about the tried and true formula that you probably already own in your collection or the formula that Tarte is known for that a lot of people rave about. Now, the holiday palettes typically have their $50 to $60, sometimes $70 price point. This is US dollars, and they'll have like a blush and a highlight and bronzer, tons of eyeshadow, and then perhaps a mini mascara or a mini eyeliner. And they will do this on purpose because they're trying to get like that value pack situation. They're trying to grab that certain consumer that really loves the deal and loves the, wow, this is worth, over $200, so I should probably get it. In reality, the formula is where they are cutting corners, you guys. Make sure that you're aware of that. Last year, I did a battle between the 2 holiday sets, you guys, and as I was battling them, they were basically on par for the most part when it came to quality, but it was never the same quality as the US formula is. So both of those sets are made in China, and this year, both of their sets are also made in China. There's one set as well that's new, which is the Treasure Chest something set. It's on QVC, and that one is actually made in Taiwan, so that one I'm unfamiliar with when it comes to quality. But I do have a good assumption, which leads me to number 3. So shopping secret number 3 is that QVC items are rarely good quality as well. I feel like this is a very bold statement too, so hear me out. I have done, I think it's 2 orders off of QVC now. One when I was a little bit younger and I felt a little bit underwhelmed with that palette, and one as of recently. And I'm going to insert a picture of it right here, which shows the palette that I was so excited about. I did get it off QVC. I was so excited. As a Canadian consumer myself, I had to ship it to my US shipping address, which I do have close to my house since I'm super close to the border. I'm so excited to get this palette. The colors look like I'm going to be using them all the time. It's the Tarte Amazonian clay formula that they keep raving about, and I've personally used that formula, so I couldn't wait to try it. And the pigmentation was lacking. It was super dusty, very hard to blend. Some of them didn't have any pigment at all. When I looked at the back of the palette, again, made in China. So they're not changing their advertising for this. They're not saying it's the different formula by any means, and it absolutely is. So this just kind of makes me crazy as a consumer. I wanted to pass it along to you guys too. And I will show you guys palettes that are actually worth purchasing that are made in the US that have that top quality formula. Remember, a friendly reminder that not everything in China is terrible. I wanted to be crystal clear about that because there was some confusion last time I mentioned it, but it is nothing to do with that. But there's manufacturers in each country. And obviously, whichever manufacturer that Tarte is using is not the same quality that the US one is. They should definitely pick a different manufacturer. If they're going to outsource in China, pick a better quality one that's going to match the formula integrity, because it is very blatantly obvious to people that have tested out Tarte stuff that there is a clear difference between the two. Now let's talk about shopping secret number 4, and that is their repackaging trick. And this is something that I did mention in my 3 truths about the makeup community that they won't tell you about, and that is that they really like to recycle the same best-selling product. Now don't get me wrong, this is something that is a great marketing technique. I think it's amazing for a best-selling product to kind of redress it up in different packaging. However, what we sometimes need to figure out as consumers is that just because it's dressed up in a different package does not mean that we need it unless we are truly running low on that product and it is a holy grail item and the timing just happens to be perfect, that it's not going to go to waste. One thing that we have to remember is that makeup communities don't make us do anything. They just know how to sell us on stuff. I mean, they're big business and they know what they're doing. So for instance, this is the Lights Camera Lashes Mascara from Tarte. This is the original packaging. This is a mini, but this is the original packaging it comes in. It's a purple kind of animal print type idea. And this is a great mascara, you guys, but learn from me, you don't need to have it in every single repackaged version. This is from their Fairy Dust, Love, Trust, and Fairy Dust collection, where they repackaged the exact same mascara in the glitter sparkle pink. And they also did it in last year's Mermaid collection as well, in like a beautiful kind of marine, like greeny blue, and I got that too. And as someone that loves makeup, I didn't need every single one of those. So make sure that you are looking out for the repackaged stuff, because of course this is a marketing strategy that we are all aware of when it comes to the makeup community. But what I'm trying to get at is that be aware of the fact that they're just trying to spark new interest in a best-selling product, and that if you truly need it that second, I mean, it's one thing to have one backup of a mascara that you love, but if you have 10 other mascaras to use up, think twice, because it's the same formula at the end of the day, just repackaged in a different color. Now, the last shopping secret, which is shopping secret number 5, is that when Tarte means limited edition, 9 times out of 10, they mean it. So this is something I wanted to be very clear about as well, because there are so many companies that say limited edition and they're not. They bring it out again in a couple of months, or they say it's going to sell out in a day and it doesn't. Or, you know, it's basically a marketing technique that they use to just get that want really high and exponentially wanting us to get something immediately when it drops. Again, a crazy great marketing strategy that I've also fallen victim to a number of times. But Tarte does mean it when it comes to limited edition. 2 of my favorite palettes that are both made in the US, so they have their Amazonian clay formula from the US, which is their top formula. These 2, I'm so glad I grabbed because I use them all the time, but they are limited edition products. There's also a twist. So the first palette, this was a collaboration with an influencer. This is Aspen Ovard and Tarte's palette, and as you can see, it is crazy reflective. It's gorgeous, and this is a palette that I use a lot as well. So very neutral, very everyday. There's a blush and a highlight in here as well. I think it's a gorgeous palette, you guys, and this one was limited edition. When it sold out, it definitely did not come back. So that is something to keep in mind. They really do mean it when they say limited edition. And this palette, interestingly enough, was limited edition, but I did see it on their site on one of their blowout sales months later. So this is kind of the twist with this secret. They do mean it when it comes to limited edition, because it definitely doesn't come back. Like 9 times out of 10, it doesn't. But for this one, it did randomly. So just make sure you're keeping your eye out, because they will tend to kind of push out some last minute stock out in a sale, and you will see a limited edition palette, but it doesn't happen for every single one. So This one is the Be a Mermaid and Make Waves palette. Again, another one of my favorites. All right, so here is the Mermaid palette, and this one also crazy reflective. I'm trying not to blind you guys, but this is a gorgeous one with some pops of color at the end. Gorgeous packaging too. Like, this is something that totally appealed to me as like a little mermaid fan. I was obsessed with it as a little girl, and this was a palette that was limited edition, sold out of course. Then it did come back in, I think it was their most recent blowout sale. It was like there for about a hot second, and then it got sold out once again. So make sure when you're shopping for Tarte that if you do see a limited edition item, make sure that you kind of think twice, like, is this something that I'm going to be seeing myself using every single day? That is super important, you guys. Don't think about limited edition as I need to have it, I need to have it. Still make that intelligence decision of, are these colors I see myself wearing every day? Is it something I can be creative with and, you know, have a variety of different looks to achieve? Things like that. Make that a priority, because even though it's limited edition, know that you still have to be able to use it and make use of it and be happy with the purchase. So try not to let the limited edition trap get you, but just know those limited edition palettes don't tend to stick around, and Tarte rarely brings them back either. Okay, now earlier in this video, I briefly talked about how the holiday sets were not a great purchase when it comes to Tarte's best formula, and I talked about why. But if you guys are looking for a gift for someone that wants to try a Tarte palette out, or they are interested in the Tarte quality in any shape or form, I would recommend skipping on the QVC releases and skipping on the holiday releases and getting a tried and true palette, you guys. The first palette I would 100% recommend for anyone for a gift is actually found at Ulta, and this is the Tarte Maneater palette. You guys, this is one that is so stinking cute. It's a cute little 9-pan palette. We're talking about the consumer that wants like a quad for just work or everyday life, things like that. This is not meant for someone that is obsessed with color, obviously, because there's not a lot of color in here, but this is a gorgeous palette, you guys. The consistency of the formula is amazing. All of these shades perform beautifully. My next recommendation, of course, is the Tartelette palettes. I do have both of these. These are Toasted and In Bloom. Toasted is one that is much more of a warm tone, almost gives the vibes of like Urban Decay Naked Heat. You know, we've got like the reddy pinks, the oranges, things like that. And of course, we've also got like some nice smoky shades and some nice base shades. So this is an amazing one. And Tartelette in Bloom is also amazing for every day too. Again, this is a very neutral concept. As you can see, nothing too bold or anything, but perfect for like the everyday gal that just wants a palette for every day that they can use so easily, blend so easily. Now, the last 3 palettes I'm about to show you, again, all have that beautiful Amazonian clay formula that is top notch, and they all have like a mix of pops of color as well as everyday shades. And Tarte was kind of getting under fire a lot of the time for just releasing neutrals after neutrals. They finally put some pops of color in things. So this first one is actually one of my favorites, and this is the Unleashed palette. This one is super cute because it all has like animal themed like shade names. And then this one as well is the outside. It has gorgeous, like top quality packaging. Tarteist Pro Remix is another one that is very bold and very beautiful. That way, this is the palette I use today for my makeup look. Super easy to blend out shades and things like that. And the last one is actually a multi-textured palette with not just powdered shades, but it also has pressed glitters for more of an amplified look. And this one is the High Tides and Good Vibes palette. This is another good option for someone that is interested in a Tarte palette, wants the best quality, and roughly around the same price point. Those are my thoughts on the 5 shopping secrets from Tarte. Let me know down below which of these have you already known about, which ones are new to you. And until my next video, guys, take care. Thanks so much for watching. Bye, guys.
You and me, everything that we've been through has made us strong. You won't believe we've had our gray, but somewhere there's a light inside of us.